What's up, everyone? So it's been like spring out here. It's been beautiful. I took the opportunity to kind of clean up the shop a little bit. I was working on my Jeep to get ready for a run, and I fried the power steering pump, so I'm waiting on one of those. But in the meantime, I want to get the brakes done on this Camaro. Try and get that ready to roll. I got spring fever, and I want to go drive this thing. So I got that, a little bit of wiring, and I think that's the worst of it, but it still needs a lot. But yeah, we're gonna get these tires off the back. I already did the front brakes, so I'll get the rears off, and make this thing happen. Well, the old brakes don't look too bad. There's still a little bit of pad left and everything, but I got all new spring kits, slave cylinders and everything. So I think while I'm this far, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the axle shafts and pull off the diff cover. And I am going to do what they call a Lincoln locker and weld this thing up. So it's just a Camaro 10 bolt. I expect to blow it up, so it's like I'm not too worried about it. It needs a pinion seal also, so I'll do that. But yeah, that'll make it do at least a 2-tire fire. It might have a posi in it. I'm not sure because it was kind of spinning both of them on New Year's. So I need to pull a cover just to check it out and probably put some nice fresh oil in it. So yeah, we'll do that while we're in here. I got the passenger side or the driver's side apart, and I can't believe I didn't have to pound the snot out of these brake drums. There's actually really not a lip or anything on them, but I got new ones for that also. There's the old greasy 10 bolt. I'm going to pop these bolts out of here, check out what we got inside. I'm not familiar enough on these Camaros, like this is a 6-cylinder, 3-speed car, and a lot of times in the truck world, that usually if you have a manual and a 6-banger, you got a posi. So we'll see what's in here. I'm kind of hoping it isn't because you can't really weld those. So I'm going to weld this up. If it is a posi, maybe I'll throw clutches in it. Like I say, I'm not too worried about putting a lot of money in this 10 bolt because when it blows, it's going to get upgraded. Alright, so I got all the bolts out. I always leave like one in the very top of that. That way when you're prying this thing, it doesn't just launch out, drop on the floor, and pour a bunch of oil everywhere. So let's see what, if any, kind of oil is in this bad boy. If I can get it, I figured it'd be leaking out already. If I can find something to pry on here. I may need to put my camera down for a minute just so I can get this broke free. Nice. I mean, definitely put some glue on it. Alright, I'm going to break this free and then I'll fire up the camera. Alright, I got a little spot to pry on here. She's cracking free. See what this looks like. Ooh. I'm not seeing any chunks yet. It actually is kind of golden still, not all black and baked looking. That's kind of amazing. Huh. That's might be a good sign. I was expecting to be full of water and stuff, but again, I'm used to a lot of Jeep stuff being that way, so people actually might take care of cars a little bit better. Looks like at one point somebody had painted this thing all nice and red. Might have been a hot rod back in the day. All right, well, I'll pull this other bolt out and we'll see what's hiding inside of here. All right, I got that bolt out of there. Now, is this going to be a posi or is it going to be an open? That's looking like an open, which is cool. So yeah, not look too bad. Oops. Kind of curious as to what gears are in this too. I don't know. Anything written on? Usually got some numbers on the ring gear. It's a tiny little gear though. And I don't feel like counting the numbers, but I am curious. Oh, we're into some numbers there. Let's see if I got some towels. Yep. Pardon my camera wiggling all over. It's kind of hard laying under here and grease and oil and trying to film this. Not that anybody probably cares too much, but I do. Alright, to get the axles out and this carrier out of here, I gotta take the cross pin out, which that's this little set screw bolt here. And hopefully I can push that cross pin out, and then that'll let the shafts come in and knock the C-clips out of this thing. So I don't know if that'll come completely out. You'll have to undo the bearing retainer there, but yeah, so oh, there we go. So yeah, now I can get the cross pin to come out. Maybe. Sometimes where these wear, you get a little tiny booger on them. And they don't want to quite slide out of there. Look at a little edge. Let's get it past that. It's kind of hard doing this with one hand. We're trying to make it work, so kind of see what's in here. I just get the thing is to get it down far enough. I can still spin this around and it'll pull it back out. Okay. I'm getting my phone all greasy. There we go. Now, yeah. Now we should be able to get it out of there. Maybe. Don't twist. Yeah, just get a little shoulder on them where the little spiders ride. And then they don't want to come out, kind of like this one. I just want the spin in there. Alright, I'm going to knock this thing out. You guys get it. Okay, I got it out finally. That wasn't too big a deal. I just needed both my hands. And then the old snap rings. So these axles will just slide inward. And there'll be a C-clip right there. And those will come out. Maybe just spin it, but naturally gravity is not on my side. But I can pull this other little spider out too. Those will just walk around. That'll give me some room. There's one. Yeah. Again, one-handed. But there is the C-clip, and then this shaft will just slide right out. Same thing on this one. I just gotta pry it out a little bit. Get in there. There we go. And there's the other snapper or C-clip. And that shaft can go out. And I'll go ahead and pull this other spider out of here too. It's just walking around. I'm like a third grader in this stuff. I get all covered, and let's just say I get into my work. There we go. There's the other spider. All right, and then we just got to pop off these cap bolts, and this whole carrier will come out. I'll put the spiders back in and everything. And being a C-clip, these are kind of trickier to weld, but yeah, I have a little way of doing it. So yeah, but we'll get that out, and yeah, then move on to the brakes. So I got the carrier out, and when you take these caps off, make sure that you remember which direction they go. Like, just keep this one and what side they're on. But yeah, and usually there's some stamps along here. I'm not seeing any on this one, so I don't know if anybody's ever done any gear work or anything in it, but actually, I don't know if that's a number 3 right there. But yeah, usually there's something that'll tell you which side goes where and which direction it goes on here. So pay attention, but until you can actually for sure see, just remember how these came out. Well, now that it's out and I can see these numbers better, there's like a whole part number, GM 3, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a 12 and a 37 and then 9 and 67. So I counted the pinion and it's 12, and I counted the ring and it's 37. So I'm assuming this is made in 9 of 1967. Would make sense to me. So, but 12 into 37 ends up being a 308 gear. So I wish it was a little deeper than that, but I don't know. Unless I can find something on Marketplace or something, we'll fly with it for now. So there's the axle shafts, and these are little dinky, I don't know, they're 28 spline, but they're, oh, I guess I cut my finger, but they're not very big. That's why I'm not going to put a whole lot of money in this. Yes, I could upgrade, blah, 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 but I'm not doing it. I'm just going to get rid of this whole mess. So if I can find deeper gears, cool. If not, I'm going to run this till these things blow up. So yeah, but for now, these are out. That'll make getting into my brakes a little easier. I can check out the wheel bearings stuff, make sure those are cool. Yeah, that's another deal. Your shaft becomes your bearing race, so that's also another kind of crappy thing with these. So anyway, yeah, I'm probably done for today, and I'll do these brakes during the week after work. So yeah, but we got the carrier out. I can get that welded this week. But now we know what's in here. I got to get a pinion seal, so I'll have to drop the drive line. A few little things, but I'll have this rear end buttoned up this week, and we'll post some more about it.